Welcome everyone to the channel. Welcome to the show. We're going to be looking at some what sold, a couple of talking points, some news and stuff that were happening during the week in regards to reselling, and from what I've seen online and what I've been watching on YouTube. That is, I have some fluff there or something. No, it's not coming out. But please like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what you guys think of the topics, and let me know what you guys think of the what sold as well too. So let's see. First off, a couple of news regarding surrounding advertising. So eBay didn't announce that the dynamic ad. So dynamic, there's standard, just your standard static promotion. You set a percentage that you're willing to pay eBay to promote your listing, and it stays there. It's static, so it just stays there. It doesn't move anywhere. Then there's a dynamic one, and the dynamic one, you will need to go into your promotions. I do believe you need a store subscription for this. You'll have to go into your promotions and set up a dynamic promotion. And basically what that means is that it'll change. And if you look in the promotions and you look at what's suggested, it will change from day to day. Maybe not, Monday, Tuesday, maybe like on Monday it's one thing, then on Thursday it's another. Might be the same in between that, but it'll go up and it'll go down actually as well. So with dynamic, what you do is you set a percentage, a cap. So it will not go above that cap. And what happened was, I don't know what the cap was prior to this because I don't use dynamic. However, they set the cap on, it was on Tuesday or Wednesday actually of this week, of this past week. That they changed it to 5% was the new cap. And I'm assuming before that it was lower. I think it was around 2%. I'm not 100% sure. But they changed it and they didn't tell anybody. Someone did notice that. And in the fine print, there's a lot of legal terms, legal wording in there, basically saying they don't have to tell us, but it is nice that they do, and they typically do. And it was kind of odd because they just had the October update, and where we got the news, for the October update, and it should have probably been in there because I doubt this was something where you just flip the switch and that's it. There was probably, it took a little bit of effort to make this happen, and they could have notified us. So the big news is that they didn't tell us about it. Not necessarily that the thing went up. I mean, all prices go up over time. Obviously, we don't like to pay more fees, but that it's going to happen. We have the fees are going to go up. Cost of goods might go up. Shipping will definitely be going up for sure. So just be aware of that. Fees are always going to go up and always going to increase. And you don't have to use dynamic either. So you can always turn to static, which is what I use. I don't use, like I said, I've never used dynamic. So I don't know what the cap was prior to that or what the ceiling was for your percentage. So there was that. Then there was another one regarding priority ads, and basically, it's just a more your items get shown more than others, and that's a pay per click model. Now they changed that to, so originally you set a how much you're willing to spend dollar amount per day, and they would not exceed that. However, they changed it now to where they can exceed it depending upon demand on that day. However, they will not go beyond the 7-day budget. So the 7-day budget, basically you take whatever you set as your daily budget, multiply it times 7. They will not go above that over the course of the week, but they could exceed. If you set it for $5, they could exceed the $5 if they see a lot of volume on that day. It's kind of the way they put it there. My eyes kind of watery today again. I'm getting that allergies again bothering me today. Have been pretty good, but now they're picking back up again. So if my eye looks a little watery, for it looks like a punch in the eye, that is the reason. But so they did change that as well. They did tell us that was coming. I don't know if that was shown to everybody or just those that use priority. I'm still in priority. I'm still using it. I think I'm seeing success with it. Impressions have definitely gone up, but to be expected. And impressions don't necessarily translate to sales. It's just more eyeballs. It doesn't even translate to people clicking on your item either. It's just more people are seeing it. There's an impression going on. So we're really up in impressions. And then, I mean, if you guys are curious about the dollar amount, how much I've spent already on it, let's just see really quick here. Priority ads. It goes out of budget quick. So that budget just like, woo, it disappears fast. So there's definitely a lot of activity on eBay still. We spent so far for the past 7 days is $120.13 what we spent on ads and sales. The sales are based on them clicking on it and making that purchase when they click on it, when they see it. So that's $164.74. So technically, after fees and everything, we're still losing money. We're losing money compared to what we're spending on ads. That's what I'm trying to say. However, I still do believe that this could not necessarily translate to sales while they're showing the ads, but it could translate to sales later on that day or maybe later on the next day. People can watch the item, people see it, maybe it's in their history, they get recommended later. So I do believe it can translate to sales in the future, maybe not when they're actually looking at it and clicked on it and they charged me money because they clicked on it. So, but it could translate to a sale later on down the road. I do believe that helps. I mean, sales have really picked up here. I mean, it could be a fourth quarter thing. It could not be. I don't know. They keep recommending that I bump up my cost per click because you can also adjust the cost per click as well too. I have it set to 25 cents. They keep recommending 40 cents, but I'm going to keep it at 25 cents. It kind of keeps the extends my budget because I really don't want to spend too much. However, I am considering possibly turning off other advertising and maybe just keeping this on. I don't know yet. I'm still in a testing phase, still trying to see, how sales look over the course of several weeks, not just over the course of 1 week or 2 weeks. So then the other thing, so I've been seeing a lot of people and making less content. And I mentioned this before, how, I enjoy watching content. There are a lot of people that put out, content every day, every other day. They put out, 3 videos, 4 videos. And I like to watch that stuff. I generally enjoy watching other resellers, watching what they're picking up, watching what they're talking about. But the content is slowing down. Now, I don't know if it's true burnout, if it's that there maybe there are other avenues. I know some people are on other social media platforms as well too. Maybe they're concentrating on that a bit more. And then Lamp Lady, if you guys watch, we watch the Lamp Lady, me and my wife, we do enjoy that. We've noticed her content kind of lacking substance or not really. She's been picking up a lot of items which are junk items like little trinkets and stuff that don't really, maybe they sell well for her, but they're not really, really worth it. And she even mentioned that in a recent video as well too, that she picked up some dollar store glass, which is pretty. If you're familiar with glass, you can pretty easily identify, what kind of this glass came from Dollar Tree, or they came from the dollar section of Target, or this is Walmart. You can quickly identify that type of glass, and I'm pretty sure she can identify that type of glass. But she mentioned that. She said, I know you guys were wondering, or something to that effect, why am I picking up dollar glass? Well, she apparently is going to be doing videos now She bought a new house, and she's gonna be doing videos, to decorate her new house. And she bought those for decor purposes, so not necessarily reselling purposes, which is one of the primary reasons why I watch a lot of these channels, to get more information and see what they're picking up and see what's in their area. And if they're gonna be picking up items, I'm not. I, I like when the stuff I like to decorate with are my toys, so I'm not really going to watch somebody who's decorating their house. But I don't know. I guess people do change gears from time to time. They may feel that their content or what they're doing is feeling a little stale, and they need to change gears. But you know, I'm relatively new at this. Do I feel like I'm going to change gears in the future? I don't know. I've been, flea marketing, garage sales, Goodwill for quite some time. I'm just now turning on the camera basically to show you guys exactly what I'm doing. Perhaps I should have turned it on sooner when I would make, deals over Craigslist is one of the primary things I used to do prior to really going full time. One of the main ways I would get most of my inventory is through making deals, through Craigslist, make big deal. I would look for huge deals, big collections, so that way it can kind of sustain, my selling. And really I did it primarily to at that time, I really did it to primarily pay for my collection, really. So, I didn't want to have to pay out of pocket. I would look for, big collections to earn money to supplement what I like to collect, or, what I like to do. So that's what I've always been into buying, selling, trading. We used to do card shows and, memorabilia shows back in the day. We've done all kinds of collectibles and things like that. So I've just been doing it for so long. It's second nature to me. And I've been doing it for, well, I really couldn't do shows until I turned 18. But prior to that, we were definitely buying and selling cards, trading cards, visiting our local card stores and trading with them, buying packs, turning around, flipping them. So, it's kind of been a consistent thing in my life for the better part of my life. And even toys. We used to trade toys way back in the day. I believe I mentioned this a while ago, when the Ninja Turtle toys first came out back in the late 80s or 90s. I was in grade school when it came out. And I remember they were sold out everywhere. Shelves were cleared out. I was able to finally end up with Michelangelo, but Raphael was my favorite, and my friend got Raphael, and we ended up doing a trade. So that way I got what I wanted, and he got what he wanted, because he wanted Michelangelo. So, and then eventually they became more common, and we were able to get them all. So, but I don't know. I really enjoy the hunt. I enjoy hunting for these items. I enjoy getting all kinds of cool items. I was out today. Like, I went on to, I had to get some more, film some more footage, and so I went to several Goodwills, thrift stores in the area, looking for items. So those videos will obviously be coming out. I went for some clothes. I got shoes. That's some really cool AMD shoes, which is kind of weird. They look like Air Force Ones, but they're branded AMD. And if you guys don't know, Advanced Micro Devices, or they make CPUs. And I got all kinds of cool stuff over there. I'm looking at it all right now. I got some mugs. I got this like funky whistling frog thing, which it looks like you put it in your yard or something like that, and it whistles kind of weird. So I got some really cool items, and that's what I really enjoy, is finding all these cool items. And of course, got items for myself as well too. So um, I've talked about how bored I am with Target, Walmart, all these other places. I'm just bored going to those stores, the same old stuff all the time. That's why one of the reasons why I enjoy going to flea markets, I enjoy going to Goodwill, because it's always a different experience. It's always new, unique items that I'm out there hunting for. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I enjoy watching content, and yeah, I guess things change. Things change is what the moral of the story is, that things change. Some people, can stay consistent, and some people, they need a change in their lives, and there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. Um, do I wish they would continue doing the same content over and over again? Sure, I would, but maybe the change is better. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I find someone else to watch. Who knows? But a lot of change happening out there right now. A lot of people doing a lot of self-reflection. A lot of people, yeah, getting out of the reselling game. A lot of people, changing platforms, changing their primary platforms where they're going to be selling at. So a lot going on towards the end of the year. However, I'm staying with eBay. I'm staying, making the content here. We're going all in here, all in. But let's go ahead and jump into the what solds. And first thing, I wanted to also talk about, there'll be a bonus what sold, because I want to talk about this really quick. And I'm showing you some Lego sets. You're like, Lego, okay, yeah, we know Lego works. We know Lego resells well. And you hear those people like pick up these up. Pick up Apple headphones. They sell all the time. Pick up Bose. They sell all the time. Well, yeah, not everybody can pick up Bose. Not everybody can pick up Legos all the time. It's not always a good price. It's not always easy to find either at a good price. You can't really pay retail and then try to resell it. You're not going to really make too much. But you can, and in some areas you can find it better than others. However, this is not a me telling you buy Legos to resell, because I think you guys already know that. But this is a little story about how I acquired this Lego set, and 14 of these Lego sets, and other Lego sets as well too. So I was at a Goodwill, and I noticed that they got a bunch of Lego sets in. They had Lego sets in the glass case. They had Lego sets on the shelves. And our Goodwills, as you can see in my videos, they're jam-packed full of stuff. They always have great items. They're always packed full of items. They get great items. They do have to send items out to the online selling platforms. They have a certain quota. So is what I've been told. There's a certain quota that has to go out. However, and I'm going to tell you the secret as to what you need to do to be able to make deals like this. You need to get to know people. Networking is, I don't think it's a secret, but you got to network. You got to get to know people. You got to make yourself known there. Get to know the managers. Get to know the people that work there. And eventually you can get to the point where you can make some large deals. You can negotiate on price. You can bundle. So I got this set here. And like I said, I got 14 of these ones. I got some other sets. Now, Lego Friends isn't necessarily the best. Not the best in the world. But there were other sets that I really, really wanted. However, so when you are making a deal, especially at Goodwill like this, it's got to be beneficial not just for you, but it's got to be beneficial for them. And my Goodwills, if you see in the videos, their shelves are jam-packed full of items. So if I can clear shelf space for them, they actually like that. I sold the last of these large Sonic pillow stuffed animals just recently. The last one I had, and I had bought a bunch of them. There were over 20 of them, at a Goodwill. I just bought them all out. They had them priced really, really well, and I was like, I didn't even negotiate on that. I'll just take them all. And so I put them all, filled up a cart and 2 carts. And I remember one of the employees who was stocking shelves, I forgot her name, but she goes, "Thank you for taking everything off the shelves. I didn't know if we were gonna be able to put any more on there. Everything was already falling over. Thanks for taking all of them." And so I think that's unique to our Goodwills here. Because I know I see some other Goodwills where their shelves are looking pretty sparse. So you have to make it beneficial for them. So we made a deal, and I bought all their Legos that they had at that time for $4 a set. So I got a pretty good deal as far as price wise. But mind you, I had to take all the Lego sets they had. So it was a few $100, several $100 worth of Lego that I had to take out of that store. This was earlier in the year. This was back in January. So I had to take quite a few Lego sets out of there because I was like, I gotta take now the friends are not the best in the world, and this is actually the last bit I have. This one's still hanging around. Other friend sets have sold, but this one's still hanging around. I have a few more left. I think I have 4 or 5 more. Yeah, I think I have 4 more sets left of these. I was like, all right, just load them up. It's gonna be great inventory, and sure enough, the ones I knew that were gonna sell quick sold quick. The ones I knew I was gonna keep, kept, and I don't collect Lego friends, but I was like, I'm gonna post these up and slowly sell these and get rid of them. And sure enough, I should be done by the end of the year. These should all be cleared out and gone. And I spent $4 a set, so you can make these deals. You got to get to know the people. Plus, you got to spend money, too. You can't be, like I call these one-hit wonders, walking through the store and walking out with nothing, right? Never checking out or checking out once in a while. You got to be there spending money. They got to see you there spending money. They got to know you're serious. And then you can be like, all right, I'll take the whole shelf, throw it in the cart. So you got to be able to make it a good deal for them and a good deal for you as well too. Don't forget. I mean, if the deal's bad, you can always walk away. There's no harm in walking away. I've cleared out their glass case before too. I've had them out. They come and they'll be like, they'll ask me, hey, all this stuff's been sitting in here. We're just gonna take it all out, and do you I can give you 40% off or 60% off or whatever it is if you take everything in there. And then I'll be like, all right, let's do it. I'll take it all. So you got to get to know everybody there. You got to be, you got to show up with the money. You got to show up with the goods, and then be prepared to take everything. So that way, it's not that it's bad inventory. It's good inventory. You got to make sure it's good for you. You got to make sure it's good for you. And just remember, you can always walk away from the deal. Although sometimes you do have to take the good with the bad. Sometimes it does happen. But like in this case, this Lego Friends is not a good set. I wouldn't recommend picking this up for any more than $4. But I try to get it for less too. If I would, if it were, if I could negotiate lower, I would try to get it for $2 a set. It goes for about $20. I should tell you about. I should just tell you how much of these. So this one sold for I think it was like $20 some change. So not bad at all. And believe it or not, this goes in a padded poly bag, and I wrap it twice in bubble mailer. Then I put it in a padded poly bag. $20.85. $10.69 is what the shipping was on this set. So that's a little story and some tips and tricks on how to get good deals over at Goodwill. We don't do it all the time, so it's not something that happens all the time. I'm not always going in there, trying to make big deals at Goodwill. It just won't happen. It happens from time to time, and you got to be able to identify the right opportunities, when to do it, and get to know people. And then the manager may just come to you and be like, hey, I got all this stuff. Like they did offer me recently, not too long ago. They were like, we're going to be sending all this stuff off to the online stores. I have all these vacuums. Do you want they were shark vacuums. I'm like, oh, There was 8 of them, and I was like, oh, man. It was a great deal. I think they were, if I remember correctly, $80, $80 a vacuum, and they do sell the models sold for over $200. I remember, and but they were just huge. I mean, they were big vacuums, and I really just didn't want to deal with it. And you know, they know I really don't deal with large items. I really don't deal with vacuums and large pieces like that. But it was like, if you want them, I have them here. Otherwise, I'm going to send them off to the online store. And I ended up declining because I was like, it's not something I was going to enjoy listing and trying to ship out. Even though it could have been worth it. Maybe it could have been worth it on a local deal. But yeah, vacuums are not fun for me. So not fun vacuuming, not fun operating a vacuum, not fun rolling up the cord in a vacuum, nothing like that. I know there's cordless ones as well too, but the corded ones seem to always work better. Okay, let's go back. Actually, I think I can. What can I think. Let's go backwards this way here. There we go. Okay, we'll start with the purse here. This is the purse. So just a name to look out for. Really cool purse, great quality purse. Now, there's a lot of these sequin purses out there that come out of Amazon that are not great at all. They're garbage. However, this was a specific name brand designer purse. I identified the quality first. I didn't know the name. I had to look up the name later just to see what they go for, what the value is. Because I already knew just by picking it up, this was a decent quality purse. It was beaded, sequins. It was really, really nice. Really, really well made. And the cord or the strap wasn't very long. It wasn't really crossbody, so it was a shoulder. It definitely vintage. I'm not sure if it was the vintage police, who say that it's supposed to be 20 years or more to be vintage. I don't know if it was quite 20 years, but it was definitely a vintage piece, an older piece. And what did it sell for? It sold for. What did Andre sell for? Andre sold for $20, and the shipping was $6.66. So, which means that went for 13 ounces is what that ended up coming out to, or what at least I put it down for. It probably shipped for around 10 ounces, but I always account for the shipping. I always account for making a little bit to offset the cost of shipping supplies. And this went in a padded poly bag. I will usually wrap something like this. I'll definitely wrap up in bubble wrap, and just to give it a little more protection. The beads, so nothing happens to the beads in transport. But really cool piece. Easy to store, easy to ship, easy to picture, everything. Really, really nice. And $20 is what we sold that for. Next item here is, I think you saw it here, a Gordon beer sign. So it's a beer sign. Now, I can tell you, when I made this listing, I was a little lazy with the picture because I would never usually, my picture would be a little bit more, I probably took it up from up higher, looking down this way. So I would take it straight on. So I could tell you I was a little bit lazy probably when I did this one. So Gordon beer sign advertising, light up sign display, barware, displays, lights, do incredibly well. If you get the major brands, even some of the obscure ones can do really, really well. I sold a huge Woodford Reserve distillery sign with lights and everything. Giant copper display. I'm trying to see which my hand is. See my hand over here. Giant. This thing was massive. It was, I think it was about a little over 3 feet wide. It wasn't very tall. It was probably about a foot tall, but it was just over 3 feet wide with lights and everything. I was like, oh man, this is really, really nice. I sold that for, I think it was somewhere around $350. So definitely keep your eye out for barware, beer, distillery signs. This one was really, really cool. It's not glass, right? It's just plastic. Just kind of illuminates from the bottom. So really, really nice. There used to be a Gordon Biersch in our city here, which visited many, many times. It was in the downtown area. Really good. They had really good garlic fries. Very delicious garlic fries. Um, I'm not much of a beer drinker, and I can't really tell you if Gordon Biersch was really good or not. I'm pretty sure I had Gordon Biersch, but unmemorable. Not very, not very memorable. So, uh, I'm not really much of a beer drinker, so it makes me bloated. But really cool. Keep your eye out for beer, barware, signs, barware stuff. I sell barware stuff all the time. So just keep your eye out for it. It does really well. And then the next item here, that's that Lego set, are hats. So hats are really, really a tough sell. There's just so many out there. So many out there. Like my really cool Detroit Lions hat here. Not necessarily that I'm a Detroit fan. I am a baseball fan. But I don't know. Hats just don't really move as quickly as you would think they would. There's so many out there too. There's so many Giants hats out there. So many of every team out there. So you got to be able to differentiate them when you're looking. You got to look for different hats out there, and you got to be able to differentiate it when you're listing it as well too. Um, and this one here was really cool. Obviously, it's green, so unusual for Giants. Usually black and orange or gray and orange. So we got the green, of course we got the shamrock. So this is an Irish St. Patrick's Day hat. The 47 brand, which isn't necessarily the best brand, but it is good. It is a decent brand, 47 brand. So San Francisco Giants hat. It is adjustable, so makes it a little more appealing to kind of everybody because you're not looking for that one hat size. The other types of hats to look out for are ones with patches on it, unique patches. I don't think I've mentioned it recently, but Japan All-Star patch. Look out for it on baseball hats. Those things sell incredibly well, but they're incredibly rare as well too. There's not that many that come up, or if they do come up, people don't really know what they have. So if you see any Japan All-Star hat patches, they'll usually have the patch on the side somewhere. I'm not sure what side it'll be on, but it's on one side. I sold the beat up Montreal Expos hat with the Japan All-Star patch on the side, and this thing was beat and dirty, flattened. $85 is what it sold for. I could have easily sold it for close to $200 if it was in good condition. So you got to be able to find these hats that just stand out, that are different. So this one here, St. Patrick's Day, really cool hat. It's actually a really, really nice hat. I really liked it and thought about keeping it because it is green, but I'm not I am a baseball fan, but I'm not a San Francisco Giants fan. So that had to get sold. Probably one of the only hats, one of the only teams I will not wear. So you might think that's weird because I am from California and I am from the Bay Area. So, but I'm not a Giants fan. Oakland A's fan. Well, they're not Oakland anymore, so that's sad. But a White Sox fan as well too. Okay, what do we have here? We have a brass bowl. I'm still not 100% sure exactly what this is used for. It's a stand. It is definitely a stand. Probably not a trivet, but I threw trivet in there too because you could potentially be used for maybe like a walk. I believe I didn't have a walk to test this on to see if it actually fit because it's kind of cradled in there. As you can see, they're kind of like a little bit of a moon shape going on there. But you put them together and they form a cross basically, and it will hold something. A bowl, something with a something with a round bottom basically is what they can hold. Asian style, interlocking because they just they lock. You put them together and they just boom and they sit together locked. They were made in Hong Kong. That's what the sticker said. And I put in there, for a plate, bowl, vase, stand, trivet. They are brass, and brass gets a lot of attention. So the problem with brass, though, is brass is usually priced up. So your buying cost with brass is going to be high. But brass does get quite a bit of attention, but it doesn't go for as much as people think it does. So be cautious when buying brass. Buy it for as low as possible. And brass animals do incredibly well. Those brass, I think they're brass, like brass birds are fairly common. They do sell really well, but they're very, very common. I would look towards other animals. And anything vintage brass. These were vintage brass, really cool pieces. They were surprisingly heavy, so which also it leads to the quality of the actual item. But really, really cool. Look out for brassware. These things, obviously, if you can find something like this is pretty cool. Oh, what do they sell for? I'm not even telling you guys what things sold for. Totally. Oh man. Where are we at? Wait, hold on. Let me go back. I am messing this up. I'm messing up my own video. Okay, Gordon Biersch. Let's go back. Gordon Biersch. Gordon. That reminds me, too, of Gordon Freeman. Gordon Freeman is from the Half-Life game, which is an incredibly popular PC game. It's on other platforms as well, too. But there's Half-Life, Half-Life 2, incredibly popular. If you ever find any shirts and I found these before, that's why I mention it, is any shirts with Black Mesa on it, and they may have a lambda symbol. I wasn't prepared for this, so I didn't. Look it up. Look, it's a lambda. It's a Greek from the Greek alphabet. Look it up, and it'll say Black Mesa on it. The shirts I have found, they were polo shirts. They did not have any other brand. Oh, they had like a generic branding on the tag, like a Port and Company or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but on it was stitched Black Mesa, and then it had Lambda on it. That is Half-Life 2, and if you ever find those, those shirts go for quite a bit. At least when I haven't looked them up recently, but when I sold them, they were going for $40 a shirt. So, something to be on the lookout for. Black Mesa, and I'll have the Lambda sign on it. It's from the game. Okay, Gordon Biersch. I just thought of that right now. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. Gordon Biersch sold for $40. What the sign sold for. Shipping was $13.56, and this went in a 4x10x6 box. So really cool. Okay, then what's the next one? Already talked about that one. The hat. The hat was giant. $17.78, and shipping was $5.17. All my hats go. Generally, all my hats go in a 9x7x5 box. So that one there, and then the bra. Okay, now we're caught up now. $15.77, and the shipping was $6.09. These went in a padded poly bag. I did wrap these in bubble wrap before I did that. Okay. All right. Now we're caught up. And I think this is the last one too here. Okay. These little Android figures. Keep your eye out for them. They are collectible. The generic ones are just plain green. So those ones aren't necessarily the best. But you do have to look these up because some of them are worth it. Some of them are not worth it. This one turned out to be worth it, and it was missing one other accessory. I'm moving my mouse and you're not seeing it. One little accessory right on the head. I think it had a crown or some sort of a hat there. But this one was missing, and it still sold. It sold for. Let's see. I'll tell you right now. Android guy, $30.41. $5.62 what they spent on shipping. Padded poly mailer for this one as well too. Again, I wrapped it in bubble wrap, and I generally wrap most stuff in bubble wrap before I actually throw it into the padded poly bag, just so nothing, added protection. But look out for this one. This design here, I know they're collectible, but as far as how valuable they are, I really did not know. I need to scan these to see which ones are valuable, which ones aren't. Just like mini collectibles. Some of them, have value. Like Spawn characters, none of them are really valuable. There are a few that are worth it, but most are not. Usually like the bad guys are worth the money because they're the cooler looking figures. But really cool. Keep your eye out for the Android collectible figures. They do really well. You can look out for this one exactly because this one should go for about $30 bucks. Probably more if you had the extra accessories that go with this. But that's it. That's the What Sold. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.